Hi everyone, I'm out on our patio today with a nice cup of tea, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a sit and chat. I'm drinking ginger tea right now. I just boil some ginger down in some water and I add some lemon and honey to it. This is always what I drink when I'm not feeling well, and it will make me feel better immediately. I'm actually feeling fine today, but I just wanted to have a little bit of like an immunity boost because ginger is great for that. And the reason I'm drinking this tea is because we're getting ready to leave the homestead for about 10 days. So it's going to be a pretty long trip and we're going to Hawaii. We're super excited. This is going to be our first trip away for this long ever, and definitely since we've moved to this house, I don't think we've ever been away for more than like 3 or 4 days. So we're pretty excited and also anxious. So I thought I would just tell you guys a little bit about our trip and why we're going, what we're going to be doing there, all that. While I'm out here, I am going to be painting my nails while I talk to you because we have some stuff to do today, and this is one of the things I need to get done. Well, I don't need to get it done really, I just want to get it done. I don't paint my nails often these days anymore, but since we're going on vacation, I think it will be nice to do something a little bit special. And it's nice to do it outside too, where I don't have to breathe in those fumes.
At this point, my microphone died, and I feel like I am always having mic problems, but one of these days I'll get it right. So in the meantime, I will just do a little voiceover of everything that we did to prepare for leaving the homestead. One of the big considerations we have these days is how to take care of the animals while we're gone. So we're trying to get everything all squared away before we leave. We took the time to really thoroughly wash out their waterers and fill them all the way to the top. And since we don't have any like friends or family that live really close to us, what we decided to do is we hired someone locally to drop by and check in on our animals once a day, because in addition to our chickens, we also have 2 indoor cats. And the service that we use to find a sitter is called Rover. We've used it in the past just for our cats before we moved to this house in the country where we had chickens, and it's been really helpful for us whenever we need to go away. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box if you're interested. Especially with the holidays coming up, there might be some traveling going on, and if you need someone to watch your pets for you, you can check that out. This is not an ad, but the link will be a referral link, so I think it will give you like $20 off your first sitting. But yeah, I just thought it might be helpful for anyone who has travel plans in the future and you're not sure like how to get someone to take care of your animals. The site is geared mostly towards cats and dogs, but since we live out in the country, when we were looking for sitters, we saw some people who specifically mentioned that they had other kinds of animals like horses, goats, even cows. So it was nice that in our area we were able to find someone who had experience with other animals, and it is a little bit more reassuring for us when we need to go away for a longer period of time. Luckily, since we do have an automatic door for our chickens, they don't need to be let out very early in the mornings, and they just go in by themselves at night and the door will shut after them. So we just opted to have someone come by once a day in the mornings, and basically all they have to do is feed the chickens and make sure that they have water. So it's a pretty easy job, and we're just making it a little bit easier on the sitter as well by getting everything set up beforehand so that the water will last as long as possible before she has to refill it. And then our cats also have an automatic feeder too. So if you can automate things in your life that are these like everyday tasks for your animals, it definitely helps a lot and makes it easier for someone else to come and take care of them. So getting the animals all taken care of is one of the big goals for the day. And we also needed to make sure the garden is okay to leave for a few weeks, as well as finish packing. So that's on the agenda. And meanwhile, I guess I'll talk a little bit about our trip. So like I said, we're going to Hawaii, and it's going to be a pretty long 10-day trip. Neither of us have ever taken a vacation for that long. And this one is going to be a little extra special because it's actually our honeymoon. It's a few years late because our honeymoon was planned right when COVID started. So that was canceled, and we just haven't really traveled much since. So we decided it was finally time. It was like 4 years late, but that's totally fine, and we are just really excited for it. So since it's our honeymoon, we planned a lot of activities for when we're in Hawaii, and I'm not going to give too much of it away because I will share some footage after we get back and show you some of the things that we did and some of the things that we saw. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun trip. Originally for our honeymoon, we had planned like an international trip to Thailand and Vietnam, but we just thought it might be a little bit easier and a little less stressful to do something within the US, even though Hawaii is still like pretty far away for us. It's at least within the US, so that makes it a little bit more manageable for us. But yeah, anyway, I will be sharing some footage of that very soon. By the time you're watching this video, we'll already be back, so it won't be too long before we share all of that. We're going to be staying on the island of Oahu near Waikiki Beach, which is the very touristy area. And when I had first thought of a Hawaii trip, I definitely had planned to do like some island hopping, maybe going to the Big Island so that we can see the Volcanoes National Park, or even just within Oahu, stay at the North Shore for a couple of days, because I definitely had a feeling that that was going to be more my speed than Waikiki Beach. But in the end, we just kept it a little simple. We will definitely be exploring lots of parts of Oahu, but it just makes it a little easier to not have to like move around so much during our trip so that we can actually see more things while we're there. So I'll be doing my best to take some footage while we're there so that we can share a little bit of our trip with you. It's obviously not really going to be homesteading related, but maybe some of you will be interested, and if you haven't been traveling a lot like we haven't, then maybe you could just live vicariously through us for a couple of weeks. We bought this flock block, is that what it's called? Flock block for the chickens. It's like a really hard thing with like lots of grains and seeds in it, and this way they'll have something to peck at while we're gone. We've never given them this before, so I'm not sure how long it will last, but hopefully it will keep them entertained for most of the time that we're gone. This is not gonna last long, is it?
Pretty girl's got a corn on her.
Oh.
Maybe it was pecking pretty girl, not letting her get it.
Wow, it crumbles faster than I thought it would.
Only some of the spots, the corners.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
it'd be
true.
a lot harder.
The inside will probably be harder.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm hoping
see.
So.
Let's see how much has gone by tonight.
I thought it'd be like a thicker, stickier.
Look at this chicken just like eating between the legs. Oh my gosh. She's literally underneath the other chicken. Is that cricket on top? We're gonna do a quick little broccoli harvest, because if we leave all of these, they're probably not going to be good by the time we get back, and we will have some of the heads for dinner. So this one, even though it's a little small, it's starting to loosen up a little bit, so we're going to pick anything that looks like it is just about to start sprouting the flowers. Our suitcase is pretty much all packed. We're splitting one suitcase on the way there, and then we are packing an empty duffel bag that we're going to put in the suitcase so that when we come back we will have 2 bags, and I just have to finish packing on my carry-on. So we'll do a little what's in my carry-on bag. I have my outfit for the airport set aside here, and then a nice big water bottle for the whole trip, of course. Then I have some disinfecting wipes. I wanted to bring these so that we can wipe down our seats on the airplane. And then, of course, also some hand sanitizer. We have some more snacks in addition to the ones that I just prepared that have to be refrigerated. So these we can pack now. Keys, wallet, all that normal stuff. I'm bringing this little notebook so that while we're there, I can write down everything that we do every day so I can remember, especially because a lot of those Hawaiian names, they are really hard to remember. They have like a ton of vowels and all that. So it's not something that I will remember easily. So I want to write down everything we do. So I'm going to be carrying this little notebook around with me all the time, hopefully. Got my Kindle, loaded up some fresh books in there so that I can read on the plane, on the beach, by the pool. I have an inflatable neck pillow and also an eye mask, sunglasses. If I can fit these shoes, I'm going to put them in my backpack just in case I want shoes to slip on, but I'm going to be wearing other shoes on the plane. And I have all of these different little pouches. I've been kind of getting into sewing and kind of teaching myself how to sew different things, and with all of the scrap fabric that I had, I've been making all of these little pouches to put things in, and I think they're so cute. So this is all just like leftover fabric after I've made garments out of them. I just turned them into little pouches, and I also sewed up a bunch of face masks as well. So this is my little pouch of face masks, and I can keep them in my backpack so that the masks don't get dirty. And then here's an example of one that I sewed up that's just the same fabric as this. And I made sure to have multiple because since we're going to be traveling for so long for that first day, I want to make sure I have fresh masks with me in case they get kind of gross or smelly, which, kind of happens after a few hours. I just have some random stuff in here right now. Still have to figure out what to put in that one. And then these 2 are my knitting projects that I'm bringing with me for the plane. I'm bringing 2 projects with me. This one is going to be a pair of socks for Aaron. He picked out this yarn that he wanted me to make socks for him because I made socks out of a similar yarn and he really liked them. So he wants me to make the same ones out of this yarn. Then my other one is going to be kind of like a shirt sweater kind of thing. So that's in there. So yes, we will be keeping busy on the plane.